तो आप पूरा वेस्टर्न जूरिस्प्रूडेंस पढ़ेंगे तो वेस्टर्न जूरिस्प्रूडेंस से आपको ज्यादातर जहां जहां पे डिस्प्यूट नजर आ रहा है वो आपको पता चलेगा कि these are the basic traits that the dispute in the human mind. Therefore, we will have to have some sort of a legal consolidation by way of law or not in order to suppress or uh, make a way for the purposes of which it is being done. लेकिन इंडियन कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत अलग है। तो ये सारा जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स में बताने जा रहा हूँ ये सिर्फ लॉ के लिए नहीं, हर एक के जीवन में irrespective of their profession, it is applicable to all, it is applicable universally. And these are called as some of the basic traits of Sanatana Dharma. और जब हम सनातन धर्म के बारे में बात करते हैं, we think that it is only for Hinduism, not for Hinduism. But these concepts, when you try to understand, you will come to know it is affecting every individual, irrespective of their religion, whatever it is. देखिए अभी हाल ही में प्रेजेंट डे में बहुत सारा जो सूडो सेक्युलर इश्यूज जो हिंदूज को हो रहा है, वो सूडो सेक्युलर इश्यूज होने का वन ऑफ द मेजर कॉजेस, अगर आप ढूंढते ढूंढते हमको पता चलेगा वन ऑफ द मेजर कॉजेस ऑफ ऑल दिस सूडो सेक्युलर इश्यूज दैट इज बीइंग कास्ड इज बिकॉज ऑफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बिटवीन हिंदुइज्म एंड ऑल रिलीजियंस। और why are we not able to defend so well like various religions they are able to defend so well? ये प्रश्न सबका मन में उठता है, सब लोगों का है माइनॉरिटी इंस्टीट्यूशन ये वो वगैरह वगैरह, लेकिन हम लोगों को ऐसा करना चाहिए तो क्या करें? एक कमेटी बिठा दिया गया, बोले कि माइनॉरिटी इंस्टीट्यूशंस को बहुत सारा राइट्स दिया गया है, तो हिंदुओं को भी अगर राइट देना है तो क्या करें? See the basic problem what they were unable to do is to define who is a Hindu. Definition of Hindu is a very big challenge, क्योंकि ये जो सनातन धर्म या हिंदुइज्म है, it is a mixture of various concepts. It is very simple to define various other religions. Who is a Muslim? One who believes in Prophet Muhammad and the life and teachings of Prophet Muhammad is a Muslim. Who is a Christian? One who believes in the New Testament of Holy Bible and the life and teachings of Jesus Christ is a Christian. Who is a Jew? One who believes in the Old Testament of Holy Bible is a Jew. Who is a Buddhist? The person who follows the life and teachings of Gautama Buddha is a Buddhist. सारा रिलीजन को आप पकड़िए, एक प्रॉफिट मिलेगा, कुछ टीचिंग्स मिलेंगे, उसके ऊपर आधारित। हिंदुओं का एक यूनिकनेस है, वो यूनिकनेस ही प्रॉब्लम बन चुका है। क्या है यूनिकनेस? I can say today that I don't believe in Rama, yet I am a Hindu. I can say I don't believe in Rama and Krishna, yet I am a Hindu. I can say I go to temple to worship, I am a Hindu. I can say I don't go to temple to worship, I am a Hindu. I am a person who can say I sit in front of sacrificial prayer, I will do yajna, I am a Hindu. I can say I never do any yajna rituals, anything, I am still a Hindu. What is the definition of Hindu? There are various codified laws of Hinduism, like Hindu Succession Act, Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Adoption and Guardianship Act, many things. There are various laws. तो सब में हिंदुओं का definition था. Hindu means and includes Hindus, Buddhists, Jain. All these religions are called as Hindus. It is an inclusive definition. वो define नहीं करता है कि हिंदू क्या है. तो इसीलिए हिंदुओं का डेफिनेशन करना मुश्किल इसलिए है क्योंकि इन लोगों का ये धर्म का यूनिकनेस अलग है। नाम से लेकर there is a myth that is created, which is a problem that is created. There are some people who call the religion as Hinduism. There are some people who call it as Sanatana Dharma. Like जो पहला होता है ना उसका नाम नहीं, जब दूसरा आ जाता है तो नाम आ जाता है। ये सबसे पुराना रिलीजन जो हमारा था कोई नाम नहीं। जब दूसरा रिलीजन आया तो पहले को नाम देना पड़ा, और हमने नाम नहीं दिया। हम तो सब जो करते थे वो धर्म है, वो ऐसे ही करते थे। दूसरे लोगों ने नाम कैसे दिया? ज्योग्राफिकल इंडिकेशन लेकर हमको नाम दिया। पर्शियन भाषा में, मतलब जो बृहद भारत का मैप, बृहद भारत का बाहर नेबरिंग कंट्री को पर्शियन, जो अभी मिडिल ईस्ट जो माना जाता है, वो पर्शियन भाषा में स नहीं, जो सप्ताह बोलते हैं तो वो लोग स को ह बोलते हैं, पर ऐसा भाषा होते हैं जहाँ पे कुछ लेटर्स नहीं होते, जैसे हिंदी में ल नहीं, में तेलुगु में है, मराठी में है, वी यूज ल ए लॉट, नड़ा। और आप हिंदी में क्या बोलते हो? नल, नड़ा, सेम अंडरस्टैंड। तो कुछ कुछ भाषा में कुछ कुछ लेटर्स नहीं होते हैं, समथिंग एल्स। तो सिंधु जनाह हमको बोलते थे, क्यों? पर्शिया से अगर आप भारत आओगे तो सबसे पहले कौन सा प्रांत मिलेगा? सिंध मिलेगा। दूसरा, सिंध का मतलब यही है कि पीपल वर ऑन द बैंक्स ऑफ द सी, मैरिटाइम ट्रेडिंग होता था उस टाइम पे, तो वहां से आके हम हमारा नाव का मैरिटाइम के थ्रू सी यू हैड टू कम, and if you look at ancient India, every major city was on the banks of a river or on coastal, आप कोई भी चुनो, it was on the banks of a major river or a coastal line। तो नदी या सागर, उन दोनों का कॉमन वर्डिंग इन संस्कृत इज सिंधु। सिंधु मीन्स जल, वाटर। So therefore, people who are on the banks of Sindhu River or Sindhu River, not even Sindhu River. Then on the banks of the coastal line, they were called as Sindhu Jala. पर्शियन में सा नहीं है, तो सा में वो हमारे सिंधु बन गया हिंदू। तो वो हिंदू, हिंदू जो वहां पे रहते हैं उसको हिंदू, हिंदू बोलते हैं। ग्रीक भाषा में वर्ड, ग्रीक और लैटिन आप पढ़ेंगे तो उसमें एच अ नहीं है, तो जहां पे ह नहीं है, हाँ निकल लिए, हिंदूस में ह निकलने से क्या होगा? विंडोज। तो ओल्ड ग्रीक में इंडोस बुलाते थे, बाद में विंडोज हो गया, ब्रिटिशर्स के हाथ में वो इंडस बन गया। वहां का the what you say the default letter was India, that's how we got India। तो नाम हमारा जो ज्योग्राफिकल इंडिकेटेड अलग रखे थे वो ही दोस्तों उन लोगों ने थे। हम लोग अपने आप को कभी कुछ बोला नहीं। तो इसीलिए हमारा धर्म के लिए बोलते थे कि जो अभी भी नहीं, और हमारे क्या प्रिंसिपल चेंज नहीं होगा, टाइमलेस रहेगा, इसलिए वो सनातन धर्म है। इसीलिए अगर अपने हमारे रिलीजन के बारे में हमको बोलना है तो हम क्या बोलेंगे? सनातन धर्म बोलेंगे, क्योंकि इट इज टाइमलेस, इट इज एज रिलेवेंट टुडे एज इट वाज सम 8000 years ago, it will continue to be relevant as long as it is। So we represent one-sixth of the global population. The people who practice Hindu faith, they form one-sixth of the global. Hmm. Hinduism is various concepts। वो जो कॉन्सेप्ट जो भाग हुआ है उसी कॉन्सेप्ट में हमारा जूरिस्प्रूडेंस भी। तो वो क्या है कॉन्सेप्ट? पहले देखते हैं कि धर्म का कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है, क्योंकि we are on the topic of what is dharma and what we need to do। We will see one by one various concepts। धर्म को there are various concepts। सुबह मैंने कहा आराम से से आप धर्म पर जहां हवा पाते famous but is there that which is sustaining मैंने बोल। There are various components of dharma। For example, there is fish of dharma, traditional laws। क्या होता? The customary observance of different rules, law, usage, practice, custom, ordinance, statute, religious or moral merit, virtue, righteousness, good work, duty, prescribed course of conduct, right, justice, equity, impartiality, piety, sobriety, decorum, morality, ethics, nature, disposition, character, essential quality, peculiarity, characteristic property or attribute, manner, resemblance, likeness, all these are synonyms with the word dharma. तो जब हम देखते हैं कि इतना सारा मीनिंग जुड़ा हुआ है धर्म को, there is not one concept that can be synonymous with the use of Lord Dharma. It represents all of these concepts. When you look at all of these concepts and you study together, we come to a common terminology called as this is the one which sustains life. This is the one which is sustaining the world. क्योंकि अगर ये जो मैंने अभी भी बताया उसमें से अगर कुछ नहीं है तो आप जीवन पूरा करोगे। अगर राइटियसनेस नहीं है, कोई कस्टमरी ऑब्जर्वेंसेस नहीं है, अगर ड्यूटी नहीं है, इम्पार्शियलिटी नहीं है, इक्विटी नहीं है, समतोलन नहीं हो, तो इसीलिए all these concepts put together are made only in order to sustain life in general. Therefore, it is called as sustenance. That is one terminology which we can give for dharma and what Sanatana dharma, timeless or perennial sustenance, essential eternal sustenance. Eternal sustenance can be what is called as Sanatana dharma. Now, in this, the dharma suggests a universal approach to understand life. लाइफ को पूरा अंडरस्टैंड करने का एक यूनिवर्सल तरीका होता है उसके ऊपर we will be able to judge what applies to it. There are certain characteristics that has been given as to what all becomes dharma. They say our tradition has all of these 10 features of dharma. What all it denotes? It should have courage or fortitude, forbearance or forgiveness, self-control, not stealing either any thought or any idea or a particular property, cleanliness, purity, control over sense organs, intelligence, knowledge of the self, truthfulness, freedom from anger, all of these are the characteristics of Dharma. So, what does Dharma do? Each Dharma is very essential. Survival of the fittest one तो सबको मालूम है स्कूल में आपको पढ़े. If there is a stronger one and a weaker one, obviously who will be the stronger one wins. उसका मतलब जो गलत भी है if he is strong he wins. So what to do to ensure that the weaker man wins? There should be principle of bottom. जो सही है वो जीतेगा irrespective of whether he is weak or strong. When I say weak or strong, it is not only physical weakness or strong or strength, it is also financial weakness or intellectual strength or weakness, whatever it may be. In order to have a balance, it is required the right contact is put, right principle is there, so that it is sustained properly. That is one of major goals. Then, in a world which is governed by principles, as of today, we are more governed by principles. We are not governed by the strength. Then, the winner is the one who adheres to the right precepts and not necessarily who is more strong. जो ठीक काम करता रहता है वो हमेशा any kind of friction or dispute that is there, they ultimately good. Then ultimately the truth is something that we should do in order to do good for everyone. And therefore dharma is that which is good at the ultimate level. सबको भला हो और हमको भी भला हो वैसे काम करना चाहिए. Essentiality. This concept से लेकर दूसरा concept पे this comes in, that is fact and value. Fact and value is an important concept on which the entire dharma is based or jurisprudence is based. What is a fact? What is a value? A glass of water is made of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. It is an information which is given to each other. लेकिन पानी पीने के बाद it quenches our thirst. It is a value. We know what exists. That is a fact. We know what is the real value only when we realize what all does it do to us. छोटा बच्चा होगा, पैदा होगा, the बच्चा only recognizes. किसी का शक्ल देखे बोलता है ये बड़ा पापा, ये बड़ी मामा, ये मेरी दादी है, नाना है, ये माता है, पिता है. It has not understood. It has not understood what it takes to be a mother. It has not understood what it takes to be a father or a grandfather, what they need to do. Teacher, teaching the Muslim, he has not understood anything. So the kid has only understood the fact. Only as it grows, it realizes what are fundamental values. Therefore, we say that the intellect comprehends the fact. The emotions accept the belief, and the wisdom realizes the fact और value के बाहर एक और चीज क्या है? Belief. A belief is something which is only appealing to our emotions. Belief is a mixture of fact. There is a fact which we see, but we know this can't be true, but we still think that this is what it is. It is an emotion. Therefore, most of the matters pertaining to religion becomes a matter of belief. हम हनुमान जी को प्रार्थना करेंगे और हमको शक्ति देगा ये बिलीफ है हनुमान जी is a figure in the Ramayana mythological figure all that may be there it is a fact it is written but when we pray हमको ये मिलेगा वो मिलेगा that is a belief that हम ये कुछ रिचुअल करेंगे उससे ये हो जाएगा कुछ और करेगा this is a matter of belief to us so fact and value what we get out of it is value it is there on this related view, there are trilogy or we can say epistemology which is established. वो क्या है? अधिभूत, अधिदैव, अध्यात्म. बहुत लोग अध्यात्म होते हैं. अध्यात्म, अधिभूत, अधिदैव, अध्यात्म. What is adhibhuta? Adhibhuta word itself suggests is what is there in the material world. What is the composition of certain things? What it is in the material world that we are able to perceive by our five sense organs. That is adhibhuta. Adhidhaiva pertains to the non-material world. It relates to our mind, thoughts, our emotions. Therefore, it is linked to the belief. It is to the emotional. That is adhidhaiva. Adhyatma pertains to the true self. Atma उसी में है. Atma is something which you have to realize. You do not know where does it exist, in what form it exists, etc. You have to realize it. You have to perceive it. You have to realize. Therefore, you have to get into philosophical reality. And to get into I am made of what hand. This the process of knowing your itself is Adhyatma. The one that bridges all these three, Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva, Adhyatma, is Adhyatma. What is Adhyatma? Adhyatma is the practical manifestation of the faith that is there in the Adhibhuta. Like illustration देखिए बोलता हूँ शायद समझ में आ जाए. सूरज को हम देखते हैं. सूरज को देखने के बाद we know that sun is mostly made of two gases, hydrogen and helium. The knowing of this information that it is made of two gases and because of the friction of hydrogen and helium, there's too much of heat that is produced. Right? So, right? It comes to the materialistic things that we are able to see. That is very Bhutta. And we realize, we realize the fact that it is there, it is giving us light. Because of the light that we are able to have, we have realized the value of this. एक दिन अगर eclipse हो गया, सूरज ठीक से नहीं आए, or very very cloudy, gloomy weather, you know what happens? There is not enough sunlight, mood becomes dull. The plants, in order to survive, should have sun. As and how you realize all these things, there is a value you have developed towards this. There are Scandinavian countries in Europe like Finland, Denmark, all this. वहां में सबसे कम सूरज गिरता है मतलब sunlight बहुत कम आता है. Do you know that the maximum percentage of deaths in Finland, almost 78% of deaths in Finland is caused by suicide? And suicide is caused, the reason for suicide is depression. And when they studied why the depression is caused, they said not enough sunlight, very gloomy weather. Indians, therefore, are very lucky that throughout India, अब जहाँ पर भी भारत में हो रही सनलाइट का कोई कमी नहीं, हर जगह सनलाइट बहुत ज्यादा है, सोलर एनर्जी यहाँ में आप कहीं पर भी लगा लो सोलर एनर्जी आ जाए. We have understood the importance of sunlight. That is our name itself suggests Bharatiya. Bhav means Surya. One who are, you say, we are very happy and there is interaction with light. We are lovers of light. We love light. We love the light. Light here does not only mean the still light, the light of knowledge and wisdom. That's very hard. It's different. So, by having understood the importance of sunlight and feeling lucky that we have so much of sunlight, which has given to growth of plants, always you can grow whatever which is unavailable if you go to some of the North Pole and South Pole countries. You can't grow whatever you want. So therefore, life in order to sustain it is important. You have realized the value of the sun. Automatically, when you realize the value, you start worshipping them. Right? Worship, you call it as what do you say? You call him as Savita, Savitra, and worships of God. It is Aditya. And you don't just worship him in the mind, you start performing certain rituals. For example, to do Sandhyavandana. There is a particular way of performing the Sandhyavandana or the Surya Namaskar. I know it. It is your way of offering to the sun. It is Aditya. Now, knowing that there is light within me and I'll have to start philosophically understanding myself and to do is Adhyatma. So, small example I've given to ensure that you understand the difference between reading and reading. Adhyatma. Now, having understood the order, these three, we should know that we move to a few other concepts also, which are here, which is what is the basic objective of any particular human life? We have understood what is the fact, we have understood what is the art, we worship that particular man, and these are all the chain which is connected to each other. Now, for us to understand what is the objective of human value, there are certain things. Let us understand how a human mind. मैं सुबह बात करते वक्त मैंने कहा रावण और राम था जो इस तरह का था एक निमिषा कोई भी डिजायर why does it come in our mind? They say desire comes due to inner needs. आपके पास कुछ नहीं है और आपको वो पाना चाहिए या आपके पास कुछ नहीं है आप कुछ करना चाहिए. So inadequacy is the basic premise to have a desire. Simple as you want to eat food, when you feel that you want to eat food, when you are hungry, or sometimes even when you are not full but you are half full, that is when some sort of inadequacy is there that results in desire. The moment you have a desire, that desire makes you swing into action. You start preparing food, go buy food, you start eating. It has resulted in action. So the desire leads to action, and action leads to fulfillment. So this is the chain: inadequacy, desire, action, fulfillment. In this chain, we have lot of demand and supply. This is the law of economics. So there is a demand made in our mind, which is the karma. It says that I want this. You are starting to do something, not this. Now, in economy, what happens? The person who is preparing something knows that the world wants this. And he is preparing something in order to give it to the world. So there is always a game of demand, supply that is happening. But in this case, supply can never catch up to demand. Because the moment you have something, you are satisfied with that thing. Immediately your mind wants something else. तो जितना तेज से हमारा मन करता है हमको ये चाहिए वो चाहिए उतना तेज से हमको हम पा नहीं सकते. Supply is therefore always in short of the overall demand. Economics may, of course, there is more supply and people have stopped taking it. You know that diminishing value that is different. But in a human mind, there is always more demand, there is supply. Now, this demand supply is there. when you are unable to get what you want, maybe because you don't have enough resources, or it is going to take too much of a time in order to take something, and your desires are so big. ये एक नहीं, 10 चाहिए, 15 चाहिए, कुछ और चाहिए, and you all want it in a short point of time. This leads to friction. This leads to disputes. This leads to doing something, harming somebody, or harming an individual, or harming the ecology, etc. So therefore, there is a need for global compromise. Because of this continuous friction between demand and supply, there is a need for global compromise. तो उसके लिए वो global compromise के लिए in order to quench that particular disease which is falling in you, there are two things which one, externally some people say that you should not do this, and therefore you are not made to supply. Now, you realize it within and you say this is environment. So what is complete outside the global compromise is law of land. This is where this is the external factor which is coming in order to give a global compromise. अगर वो हमारा नहीं, we are able to realize it within and we are able to stop this entire game of demand and supply. It comes either out of awareness or of frustration. There should be a limit to what I am having because somebody else also wants it. I will be happy with all this fraction. Or this is what is available, this is not what is available. Stop it this much. This comes only out of awareness of reality. This there. In order to ensure this global compromise happens in this particular state, the four Purusharthas have to play Dharma, Artha, Kama, right? Especially Dharma, Kama. Framework which has been made for the Purusharthas in compromise. Then, apart from the Purusharthas, I've already explained the Purusharthas, I think you all know, so I don't repeating it. Apart from the Purusharthas, they also made another system called as the Ashrama Dharma. We all know that a man progresses from different level to different. As soon as he is born, and after his completion of his tender years, is born, work until the of marriageable age, they are basically educated. They are educated to be worldly wise, they are educated to be good in theory as well as in practice, and education is given. So that entire period of education is called as brahmacharya. Many people they only think brahmacharya means not married, then it is called as brahmacharya, and they don't get any if they are unmarried, even at the age of 60, 70, that means they are in brahmacharya for the rest of their life, which is partially true at the outside. But brahmacharya here basically means your period of studenthood very. Of course, the student in you never dies, even when you are old, you continue to learn. Your essential main characteristic duty at that particular age is to learn and acquire the knowledge, which is essential. The next stage is Grihastha where you are given the duties of a household. The rights and duties of a brahmachari is completely different from rights and duties of a household. Brahmachari, no matter how intelligent he may be able to grasp really well. When he is under education, we never tell him to think of finance immediately so that you will start helping the start working something right at your age of 8 or 10 so that you are able to help the family. But you from college, as a refined people then. So the stress on brahmacharya is more on learning. The stress on grihastha is more on householder duties or grihacharya. Then third is vanaprastha, where in a retired life what you are supposed to do. Now, way in which it was in the earlier years or now, the form might have changed. Vanaprastha, they used to say they used to go to the forest, they used to be with their gurus, they used to learn Upanishads and thereafter go ahead towards the path of Moksha. Not everybody can. Even now, how many here after their age of 60 or 70 will be able to completely detach themselves from everyone and start looking for the spiritual awareness? Not many people will be able to. So therefore, Brahmacharya Vyavastha Varavastha, later certain rules, conduct, and rights of the fall that particular category. So this was the ashram, which without saying, without regulating. So we all know that people do fall under these three categories. Either you are in retired life, or you are a householder, or you are studying. These are the three categories which was the Varna Dharma. Varna Dharma, was the four Varnas, that is there, Chaturvarnya, that was there, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. By their nature of their particular profession they used to carry on that particular field of avocation. One thing we have to know that this Varnashram Dharma, especially the Varna Dharma, the ashram, has been highly criticized for Hindus, saying that this entire casteist mentality came from Varna Dharma. And therefore, Varna Dharma itself is a social evil. It should not be there in the Shastras. It's a all part. Lekin we should understand that Varna Dharma was never a part of its development in the early days. There was a very famous Sanskrit play called Vrachakatika. Vrachakatika mein the main hero of the show, Charudatta, he is actually born as a Brahmin. But by virtue of his avocation, what does it is he becomes a and he becomes a Sarkava. That is a great person who goes takes all his goods from one city to the far off city and sells everything and comes back. He is a Sarkava. So therefore, Charudatta there identifies him more as a Vaishya than as a Brahmin. And even as late, we should say, as third or fourth century BCE, when Chandragupta Maurya became the emperor of Maurya, Chandragupta Maurya was not born as a Kshatriya. He was born as a Shudra. Kautilya looked at the characteristics of this particular boy and he thought that he would make a really good king. So this Varna Dharma was based more on the good of that particular person. What are you made of? And you accordingly come and fall in that particular way. Generally, what happens? Everybody will be such a genius fellow that he, irrespective of the caste that he is born in, he will be able to do something else. Now, most of the rishis that you see, including the Saptarshis, none of them were born as Brahmins. They were all of different castes, different creeds, but because of their knowledge, they were able to make a different post for them. A completely different way of individuals. So they do it. तो ये ज्यादा it was Gurugarahi, Tokyo was Gurugarahi. You so man, it's made of. And in that particular guna, you say you fall into this particular varna. And you go there. So therefore, this war compartment thing came on much later years, I should say, after probably the Gupta period. This became a very, very important first reason. Because there is a social unit doesn't mean that the original, the Varna Dharma itself is completely filled with so many things. Forget all of it. Today, let us see. Many in the profession who are doing good, generally see it, many people, it is very easy for you to catch up with something what your parents are doing. You see many doctors studying MBBS, their children are studying MBBS because it comes to them as a second thing. They have learned right from the beginning as to how medicine is given, what are the symptoms, what symptoms goes to what. Without knowing it, they have been looking at their parents or uncles or somebody who has been practicing. They tend to get that correct. So generally, kids are told in order to follow their particular parents' path, but that is not what it is. Today, most of the film actors who are in Bollywood are children of. Now, in my profession, lawyers, most of them are children of the lawyers and judges. It was easy, very easy for us. There's a set chamber, there are set juniors, we have everybody. We know groom ourselves. Everything is there, so it becomes easy. That doesn't mean that I will ensure that my kids also study law. Of course, they're free to do what they want. But this is a very composite learning for them that they are able to pick up. So, whenever a particular rule or law is made, you should know it is made keeping the general public of a reasonable caliber in mind. It is not made for a particular genius guy and girl who can spring up ton of conflicts. So therefore, this Krishna Dharma is not there. We must know that it was not protected. This laws. The aspects of the smartphone. Then we next we see that on the basis of Vedas, they divided the entire thing that is present in the world, which is being made into two things. One as God made, and man made. Only two things. So whatever was already existing God made, they called it as Vastu Tattva. That is Vastu, it is already there, it is existing. This is already being made. We only have to realize what it is. It is Vastu Tattva. When there is something, in order to enhance what is already there, in order to get the resources already existing, we have done something that is Karma. The river is automatically flowing from one particular place to another place. Most of the time. But sometimes there is too much of water, which creates one kind of thing. Other times there is famine. So in order to regulate it, what did we do? We built dams. We stored water. We gave. So this building of a dam or a tank, etc., became further. So everything that was there is what exists. What we are doing in order to enhance something is under Vastu. So when we say that we are doing something in order to whatever is already there to either enhance its beauty or to take the resources and do something, there is always a possibility that we may end up doing more harm or we may end up trying to take more than is required. For example, wood is required for building and construction material, but there should be a limit. Soil, sand, especially the little sand, is very much required for construction material, but there should be a limit. Now, what is happening? There are so many rivers, riverbed, they are taking so much of sand, and there is almost no sand in many of the rivers that is there. Illegal sand mining and mafia that is being going on. It is harming that particular ecology of the river. So, in order to regulate it, various laws have come into picture, various regulations have come into picture. This is where the so you should know what it exists and how much you should be able to procure from the natural resources for yourself. That is the two things that is must. Because in order to tell all of this, there is a requirement of a teacher, Acharya, who will come and say. Then we have seen the layers of Adibhuta in the Ivan part. One difference I will have to say between the belief and what is already existing. Many people confuse between religion and spirituality. Spirituality is more to dwell on the philosophical aspect or say the adhyatma, wherein you are not concerned about various rituals being made. You are concerned more about understanding one's own particular self. So it is a spiritual belief. So in religion, there is, let me say, there is always through religion attacks a particular human mind also exists. There is always a direct connection between art and religion. Now, in art, we have something called as willing suspension of disbelief. What is willing suspension of disbelief? अगर आप कोई मूवी जाके मूवी आपको पता है कि मूवी में जो भी दिखा है मसला गलत वो एक्चुअल तो हो चुका है. So there is a person who is punching and three lorries are he will stop train with one hand. He will hit the lorry, lorry will go flying. All these everybody knows are not reality at all. You know that in a particular emotional scene, one particular actress is crying, you know, she's not shedding true tears. It is the character who is shedding the tears. But knowing all this also, you are suspending your belief system. You are not questioning time and again, hey, put this on. Can I do this? Can this fellow jump from a mountain and still be alright? You are not asking all these questions. So this is building suspension of disbelief. What is unbelievable also, you are suspending it. Why? In order to enjoy the life. If you start questioning all that, you will not make the movie. So to enjoy the art, in order to get emotionally connected, you have to suspend simple disbelief that is something which is unbelievable. So to enjoy the art. This is what art asks you to do, building suspension of disbelief. Similarly, what religion does is it asks you to ignorantly adhere to a particular belief. There was a prophet, he said this, you have to believe. You can question. Under what circumstances did he say? Why did he actually say this? Why is this considered to be a holy book? Did this actually happen? Did this not actually happen? You can question, but there is nobody one particular source to answer. So therefore, this ignorant adherence of disbelief, not now, forever. If you have to say Bible is a holy book, throughout your life you should believe Bible is a holy book. The day you say that Bible is a holy book is a story written about James and Christ. So therefore, I will look at it more from a story or a novel angle, not fiction. Therefore, you will have to believe a particular thing as to what has happened. Thereafter, every connotations of that particular religion will become connected to you. Otherwise, it is not. A person who does not believe in Ramayana or Rama, what will he celebrate in Rama or Dasara? Therefore, there is a particular belief that should undergo in order to say that is there. This is the basic thing of religion which is there. So, whenever you are into religion, you may all get various places at the So, you should know whether this is there a value attached to it. Is the performance of what is being done that to a particular value that is being realized, or is it only a sheer belief? Now, what conception guarantees is not only the spiritual value, it also guarantees the belief. But in the Sanatana Dharma, belief always had a lesser importance. And belief may be required. A story is being told in order to, if you say all these concepts to everyone, it becomes very dry. How is it speaking? But this entire story, if it is told in the form of these concepts are told in the form of a story, which is a something else. Therefore, performance of a festival, the rituals of a festival, all the Purana Katha that is being there or which is being told, all of it interconnected to each other in order to have all of these basic fundamental concepts to be there. Now, when we look at what is belief, we realize that this entire karma theory is also belief. You have to believe there are things. One is wrong, and based on my deeds, good deeds or bad deeds, I will like once again be born another Janma on that, based on something that had happened earlier. Today, I will start today. What good deeds I do today, I will be reaping the benefits or paying for it in the next life. This entire concept of karma. I did something bad, so I did something good, so that happened to me. But we all know that this is good influences. You cannot repart and say, for people who have done good all through their life, they will still respect so much. So we question, why did somebody suffer so much? They have done good all their life. We look at this Savarkar's life. How much trouble did he have to undergo? 20 and odd years, so it's around more than 2 decades to be in Ahmad prison, to undergo so much of humiliation, even coming out and still undergoing humiliation. Right? They also did good things for the sake of country, for the sake of everything. We ask all good things that you why did you do? And probably any theologist will come and say, something you would have done in the world of Dharma that is like this. This is the simple answer that they give. The entire Dharma is there for the system. This is not where the place in Dharma. This is also what this is. And many times this mythical element is also often misunderstood. For example, we call it as a thought. What is a thought? When we say somebody is a hero, we do a lot of arrow. That is, we want to enhance that particular subject. We give more credence to something impossible which he has been able to attach. As simple as when the mother is feeding the child, the mother will say, if you eat properly, you will become like a mother. You will become like baby. Of course, she also knows that the kid will not get so much of energy. Everybody also knows everything. Everybody will not get it at the intention there is to feed them. And in order to ensure that it makes sense. What is the main intention? So, our main intention is thinking of the first value which we have. So, therefore, in matters of religion, whenever something is being told, we should know whether it falls into the bracket this very material dharma, or does it fall into a belief? What is the ritualistic thing that is being made in order to go give it to the belief system? You should not be going out of your way to protect all of this. But if it is something for which there is true value which is attached to it, you should do everything on it. Then this is automatically the danger that is associated that if you only believe that information, you are not gain. Now this leads us to another two, three concepts called as the Dharma. Now, Vrita are not topics. Vrita is a cosmic body. As a particular type of how the word is functioning. What do you do the moment you realize that there is a certain cosmic order in place which is already running in a particular way? Then automatically you realize the value of you will not do anything to take away the goodness which is already there. Suppose there are say a wonderful mango grow forest. There's so many mangoes are grown. For time memorial, you are going, you are eating the mangoes, you are giving it to others also. You have enjoyed that particular mango grow forest. Tomorrow you feel like building a farmhouse there in the mango forest. How many trees will you cut down? You will really feel a pinch, especially if you have taken care of that mango forest. You will search for a place where there are very less trees. In that particular region, you will try to go and put on a farmhouse. Right? Because there is a sort of indebtedness or gratitude you already have for all that is already existing. But if you go to a temple which is in your hometown, और आप जिन छोटे बच्चे हैं तब से लगे you have been visiting that particular temple, उसके सामने खेल रहे खड़े हुए वो देवालय का जो भी उत्सव है उसमें आप भी शामिल हुए हो. And there is a sort of kinship you have developed towards that particular thing. कभी वो टेम्पल को डर्टी करेंगे क्लीनलीनेस किसी और को बोलना पड़ेगा बोलना प्लीज कीप द टेम्पल प्रॉपर्टी क्लीन आपको जरूरत नहीं है लेकिन आप ही टूरिस्ट बन के कहीं और पे चले गए और टेम्पल के साथ ये भाव जुड़ेगा नहीं. जब भाव नहीं जुड़ेगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली विदाउट नोइंग यू मे create some filth in that particular area. It can be any particular one. It doesn't take you too much of time to realize how my temple is to me in my city. Similar maybe this temple to somebody else. Let us not. So ये जो cosmic order just everything वो चल रहा है, you have a connection between you and the universe, and you say, I'm always in indebtedness and gratitude to whatever I want. See, for a particular person to say that मुझे किसी का जरूरत नहीं है, मुझे I don't want anything, not required to take any sort of help from anyone, I will be able to. This kind of attitude has been shunned away in some of these concepts of मेरे को से आप सुबह उठ के चाय पीते हो तो कोई आके आपको घर में दूध दे के गया चाय का पति सुबह has grown he has given आप पढ़ रहे हो तो वो बुक तैयार करने वाला कोई उसमें लिखने वाला कोई whatever work you do even smallest of small it already has the work of so many people involved in it which is already done. The moment you come to know the amount of industry that has gone into even the smallest of the things which you are using or utilizing, you already have a sense of gratitude towards all those beings who have worked on that particular thing. So automatically you will not waste it. कोई और अगर आपको बोलना नहीं पड़ेगा कि don't waste it because I have taken so much of space in order to do this. So this temporal connection between the cosmic order and you is Rana, and the gratitude that you hold is automatically Rana. Now, There are, as I told you in the morning, there are five rules. Devarna, Rishi Runa, and two others. They don't know this what it is. You are happy for you are born in a particular family, you should thank God. And you are being given certain luxuries in life, you should thank God. So therefore, that is the real one. Secondly, you have been your parents have done so much, your forefathers have done so much. They have given you education, they have given you money, which many other people are able to have, you are able to have and do them. So therefore, that is spiritual grounds for which everybody will be having that dignitaries. तीसरा है ऋषि ऋषि उनका मतलब ये नहीं है कि पुराने जमाने में कोई ऋषि थे और ऋषि ने कुछ किया तो इसलिए ऋषि है। कोई भी आप सब्जेक्ट देखो उस सब्जेक्ट के ऊपर there are so many people who have already shed their thoughts and lights and they have written and they have improved the particular subject. If I am able to say anything with respect to law today, something else today, none of this is our beliefs. I have not done anything. Always check what is our state. There are so many people who have already written, told me, instructed me on so many things. I should have a sense of gratitude to all such people. That is Rishi. For example, if we are able to have today with a beautiful light here, we should thank Thomas Alva Edison. For in Hindu Sanatana Dharma, if it is Thomas Alva Edison is called as a Rishi. We are all using mobile phones. Well, inside of that will also is a Rishi. So whoever has given their particular wisdom or knowledge for the betterment of the world and the qualification of Rishi is they should not have done it for their own well-being, but for the benefit of society at large or world. This is Rishi. Apart from the three runas, we also have Manushya Runa and Atma. Manushya Runa is sometimes also called as Samaj Runa. It's actually one together. I mean, as I just told you, that we are related to each other. So many works that we do for Manushya Runa. Atma is one side. These five perform five runas. Well, the interpolation between these two and a regular life is what is Dharma here also. Then, Dharma in action on an everyday life, on a day-to-day basis, when we are what I required of that area, you know. Impula refers to worship of any form. Metaphorically, yajna means act of self-dedication, service above self, or respecting the divine presence. इसको हम यज्ञ बोलते हैं। यज्ञ का मतलब ये नहीं कि एक superficial fire, you are sitting in front of it and doing a particular puja, splitting the husk to fire. No, that's not it. Yajna means service, many people, impossible, respecting the divine presence of a particular thing or a god or an individual. That is it. When it also means worship of the supreme interaction, sharing with others. What you know, not what is called as then you offer, which is philanthropy, generosity, or charity. Then you have tapas, which is toil, fortitude, will, austerity, doing all this is in the house. Because many people misunderstand it as meditation. It has nothing to do with meditation, in fact. If you have taken a particular project, if you have come up with something, day in and day out, you are working on that particular project in order to fulfill and complete that it come out. You are going to great task. So a person who is immersed in the work, who is toiling for that particular work, and cheerfully he completes and first which is being. Then when you look at all of this, automatically a question will arise in your answer. All throughout, all these concepts are only talking about who is being. What am I supposed to do to parents? What at large? What am I supposed to do to others? What level? What about your personal life? Where does all this particular thing come from? They say, of course, you are free will to do whatever you want. From your working of any particular desire does not depend upon the desire of anything else. There are two people asking for the same thing. One person they get it, another person may not get it. Sometimes you may get, sometimes somebody else may get. If you want to do something, it should be in such a way that something else is not being trampled upon. This is the slow concept of freedom. So the moment we talk about freedom, we have another concept called as Swadharma. What is Swadharma? Swadharma means we come to know what are we made of, and we have a particular purpose of what we are supposed to do, purpose of life. What are we made of? After understanding what are we made of, we realize the purpose of life. And we go in that particular direction. That is Swadharma. For example, think I am 4 feet tall, I am very thin, I have a cold cough, but mentally I want to join the Indian Army and serve the mother. मन है कि बहुत कुछ ये करना है वो, but my body will not tolerate all of this. I will wait for it to. Not a security man for a politician of 6 feet, me standing in front of him at 4 feet. What purpose will it serve? So therefore, it is not our intent to do something. We should also know whether we are made of the ingredients to be something. So it need not be only of physical characteristics. It can also be of mental characteristics. There is a particular subject which will draw us very quickly. There is a particular subject that immediately interests us. जब हम काम करना शुरू करेंगे, we feel that this is very I'm able to do it. But there are certain things which do not make it of our head, no matter. So therefore, understanding what we are made of and then working towards it tirelessly is what is called as Swadharma. This particular concept is very really stressed upon to say. First realize your first goal is to realize what you made. Then in that particular direction, looking into all these particular aspects, what is it? Now, with some of these concepts in play, whatever way, all these concepts is what actually makes Hinduism. These are the essential characteristics of Sanatana. Now you look at Ramayana, Mahabharata, or any of the Puranas, any of the stories, or any other thing, it is just into some of these things. We did not stop it here. There was automatic celebration of life. The older people, the the ancient era, there is we don't have a concept of this is sin. Doing this as a particular sin, we are sinners. So therefore, we are utilizing something else. So therefore, we are always required to do something in order to expatiate on this. This is what our concept is not to have desires because Kama is one of the Purusharthas. Kama Sutra has been given by Bharatiya. We call him as a Rishi. We refer that particular subject also. So everywhere, whatever we have taken it. The general phenomenon is to celebrate the life as it is, knowing fully well that everything is not meant to be mine, but in order to work in the societal interest and taking what is beautiful, which is mine. Doing such a thing, I am not expecting a particular return in a particular form, is called as a jivan. Such a particular person is what one should aim at. They don't say everybody should attain moksha, but they say everybody should attain the feeling of jivan moksha. Automatically liberation will come. So these are some of basic concepts that are there. In this, the word dharma, in every concept that I said, it is intertwined. So therefore, to say what is dharma in the context, all of these concepts outside of this becomes extremely difficult because in everything is intertwined. Only when we understand these particular concepts, irrespective of whatever way or whatever any dispute comes, anything comes in front of us, we'll be able to place the thing in the right perspective and we'll be able to answer. So these are some of the fundamental aspects that's called the essentials of Dharma. So that's one written by Dr. R. Patient, it's a website called www.preksha.in. Preksha.in. In this, in this small book called Digital Sanatana, all these concepts have been extremely highlighted by the two authors who are very good scholars. They have written it in a very loose narration, simple English. Because some of the readers to this book who also students were history students. So they are able to understand. It is at that level they have ensured that these concepts, fundamental concepts of Hinduism. I think it's a must read for everyone. So kindly and the soft copy of this book is available on the website of the articles. You have written down various concepts that I told you. You can write it for free in the website also. You are buying them. And these concepts also, if you are time and again, if you are able to read and digest these particular concepts, I think whatever you study in the syllabus of non-law subjects that you have in your course, I think it will become much more meaningful. So you have a great concept. सर आपने ये शुरुआत में बताया लेक्चर की हिंदू जो धर्म है उसमें आप चाहे राम को मानिए चाहे नहीं मानिए चाहे विष्णु को मानिए चाहे ब्रह्मा को मानिए चाहे शिव को मानिए या नहीं मानिए फिर भी आप हिंदू। मेरा एक प्रश्न इस पे ये बनता है सर कि जो भारतीय संविधान है या जो भारतीय कानून व्यवस्था है उसकी नजरों में तो हिंदू और ईसाई और ऐसे अलग अलग जो मत है और जो हमारे यहाँ आरक्षण की व्यवस्था है वो भी हिंदू होने के नाते से ही फिर कैटेगरी के अंदर बांट करके और फिर उसमें दी गई है। तो अभी जो एक क्रिप्टो क्रिश्चियन करके एक टर्म जो सुनने में आती है जिसमें आप अपना धर्म तो चेंज कर लेते हैं मतलब अपनी मान्यताएं चेंज कर लेते हैं आप क्रिश्चियन हो जाते हैं लेकिन दस्तावेजों में डॉक्यूमेंट्स में आप अपने आप को हिंदू शो करते हैं क्योंकि आपको आरक्षण का लाभ है। तो वो जो कॉन्सेप्ट है उसको लेकर के क्या हमारी न्याय व्यवस्था के अंदर और किया जा सकता है कि because Christianity is not recognized in law. उन्होंने इसका कोई मानना नहीं। आपको एक ना एक रिलीजन आपको फॉर्म में फिल करने में आपको बताना होगा कि क्रिश्चियन हो या हिंदू हो क्या कन्वर्शन के लिए भी there is a document which is created. Hinduism for conversion नहीं है there is reconversion factor. If a Hindu has converted to another religion, reconvert factor. Conversion is not a concept, but various other religions, whenever they convert, they undergo a process. Either the church will issue a certificate saying that he is a Christian, or the mullah will issue a certificate saying he is a Muslim, and the faith is there. It's a faith. So you can do. So, you know, crypto-Christian is a terminology what I used to say. You can continue without changing your beliefs. Just make it preserve. Okay. So, there are missionaries working in order to convert us. They, in order to ensure that they come within the fold of religion, they will say you can continue to take the benefits of what is given to SC or ST or OBC or reservation to various people. You follow our particular religion, you come to church, you become a Christian, so that at least when your kids are born, next generation is born, when one particular family people is scratched off, kids are granted to become Christian. So it is a more of conversion drive than the law has not recognized it. You can never say, although you have written Hindu, but I consider you as Christian. In fact, if conversion happens, it is on the protocol of second Indian post. There is a, say for example, there is a reservation given to Christian. I am a Hindu, I continue to practice as Hindu, but I will give a certificate saying I have converted to Christianity only for the purpose of security. If somebody is able to prove that I have done it only to secure a post, the post which is given to me will be taken off. So it is not legally recognized. So they can't recognize.